Hi everyone, this is the Vantage RM weekly video update service with the markets here. Sunday night, it's 9:15 in the evening as I update the video. Vantage RM is a risk management firm, and what we're looking at is looking at the risk in the market from a technical and fundamental standpoint. Most of our focus is technical in nature, which you will see as we talk about it tonight. As the news flows tonight, obviously the information that we have is that a vessel has been taken over by the U.S. Trying to go through the Strait of Hormuz. And the bottom line is that the embargo or the conditions where the United States has a complete blockade on Iran is still in place. And because of that, when the vessel tried to move through, the U.S. Took it and seized it, and that has got Iran back upset tonight, and they're saying that they are going to once again close down the strait after declaring that it was open on Friday. So that's back and forth as they now get ready to negotiate this week. And so that is the atmosphere that we're looking at right now. The Dow Jones was up 868 points on Friday, but tonight as it trades, it's lower, down 358 in the early going in the futures market. The dollar's up 227. Crude oil's up $4.13. We've got the diesel contract up 19 cents with natural gas up 4. Gold market's currently down $55 with the silver market down $1.35, and that is the market is actually well off the lows here in the silver market, and pretty much off the lows as well here in the gold market as well. So let's take a look here at what some of these markets look like. We're going to start with the stock market. One of the things I wanted to point out on the Dow Jones, and in weeks ahead we'll go ahead and be talking about the Nasdaq as well as the S&P 500. But this is just a technical picture. This 48,709. What happened last Friday with the news out that the strait was going to be open, we had a gap. So that gap right there is one of two things. It's either a measuring gap or it is an exhaustion gap. So now we wait to see if the market tries to close that. A solid close under the 48,709 level is going to be technically bearish. The highs are very dominant, which is what these indicators here are showing. The risk factor is very strong in favor of the bulls. So that means that there's not a lot of downward risk showing up, but the risk is starting to be elevated. And that's what that means when we start to get up into this section, is that the risk is elevated now to a possible push back to the downside. And the momentum indicator is definitely overbought. So this week we'll be looking at these levels right here. Watch that 48,709 level from a technical standpoint. If we close that gap and then turn around and close higher, that's a positive. If we close that gap and then continue to push lower, that very well could end up being an exhaustion gap, meaning that the market needs to do more of a correction. More of a correction would put it probably back down in the 47.5 to 47,000 level. When we take a look at the technicals in the June natural gas, the market actually here is starting to look like it has put in a bottom. The lows are still dominant, but they're losing their power. The highs, higher lows, that's what that blue line represents. And you can see it's actually showing signs that it's pushing up. The yellow line says how strong the upper number is, and whichever line is above is at the top, that tells you how strong it is, and you can see that it's not that strong at this point in time. This is called the Dell model, and it's down in the zone where it actually is trending, and you can see the indicator here as far as momentum goes turning back to the downside. As far as the diesel contract goes, it's right in the middle of this 330, 387 area tonight, but does look like it's trying to weaken as well. So obviously the headline news here the next several days will be key. This is a Kansas City wheat. I just want to show you the only contract here because this is what's really driving any of the grain markets right now, and this is off drought conditions in the Midwest. 7-day weather forecast is dry. We're right up against a major resistance point, and we traded there tonight. So we'll have to wait and see how it trades as we go through the week. And finally, the U.S. dollar, it opened higher tonight on the news, but is actually trading back down near the lows at this particular point in time. So that's how things stand as we start the new week. Hope you have a good week. We'll come back next Sunday and see how things look at that point in time. So long, everyone.